Hello, literature lovers. Today I want to discuss few interesting literary definitions and facts. Starting from the bottom, what is formalism? It's the practice or doctrine of strict adherence to prescribed or eternal forms, as in religion or art. Also, an instance of this marked attention to arrangement style or artistic means, usually with corresponding de-emphasis of content. I'm talking about Stuart Hall's theory, the encoding and decoding model of communication was developed by the cultural studies scholar Stuart Hall in 1973, titled Encoding and Decoding in a Television Discourse. Hall's essay offers a theoretical approach of how media messages are produced, disseminated, and interpreted. Talking about black feminism, it is a school of thought starting that sexism and class oppression and gender identity as well as racism are inextricably bound together, and the way these concepts relate to each other is called intersectionality. It's a term first coined by scholar Kimberley in 1987. Next definition is of talking about cultural studies according to Richard Hoggart, and this definition is by Dennis writes it's a critical movement, and in the beginning of culture studies as a field was when Richard Hoggart used the term in 1964 in founding the Center for Contemporary Culture Studies, that is CCCS, at University of Birmingham in UK, and that became the home for the development of the intellectual. And culture materialism emerged as a theoretical movement in early 1980s along with new historical criticism, that is historicism. It's an American approach to early modern literature with which it shares much common ground. The term was coined by William and who used to describe the theoretical bending of leftist culturalism and Marxist analysis. Culture materialism is an anthropological research orientation first introduced by Marvin Harris in his book Rise of Anthropological Theory as a theoretical paradigm and research strategy. To Harris, social change independent of three factors: a society's infrastructure, structure, and superstructure. Another important is eco-criticism. It is the study of literature and the environment from an interdisciplinary point of view, where literature scholars analyze texts that illustrate environmental concerns and examine the various ways literature treats the subject of nature. Historicism is the idea of attributing meaningful significance to space, time, such as historical period, geographical place, and local culture. Gynocriticism or gynocritic is the term coined in the 70s by Alan Shalter to describe a new literary project intended to construct a female framework for the analysis of women's literature. New historicism also has something in common with the historical criticism of Taine, who argued that a literary work is less the product of its author's imagination than social circumstances of its creation, the three main aspects of which that called race, milieu, and moment. William James is considered to be the founder of functional psychology, but he would not consider himself as a functionalist, nor did he truly like the way science divided into schools. Reader response criticism is a school of literary theory that focuses on the reader as the audience and their experience of a literary work, in contrast to other schools and theories that focus attention primarily on the author or the content and form of the work.